I've recently posted a video to showcase a save file created for the Sims 4 base game in the world of Willow Creek. The premise of that video was to imagine that The Sims 4 had been set 25 years after the events we see play out in The Sims 2. So kind of a classic Sims lore injection into The Sims 4. And I had such a good time doing that, especially because it was fun seeing what could have been the continuation to all the drama we have in The Sims 2. But when I was editing that video, I felt like taking you behind the scenes of this The Sims 4 lore overhaul, and that's why I'm posting this video as well. I hope you'll enjoy it, baby! Oh, and hi, by the way, my name is Lady Drama and this is the Drama House channel. This is a safe place for anybody who's interested in the past, present, and future of live sim video games. Thank you for joining me today. So before I show you more on how I created Pleasant View 2.0 in Willow Creek, let's talk about the save file. In The Sims 4, a save file is like the container of all the Sims, households and lots you want to have, let's say, coexist for a specific gameplay session. If you have multiple households in multiple worlds within one same save file, they will be able to interact with each other as the game will assume they are all living in the same universe. If then you go and make a new save file, the game will consider that as separate to your other saves. This is something different from The Sims 2 that considers each household or lot as a different save file. Having clarified that, what I did to create my different version of Willow Creek began with the creation of a new save file, meaning I launched the game and clicked on New Game. The way The Sims 4 works, however, is that you need to create one or more Sims when you start a new game. You can't just load a world and pick an existing family from there, which is why, before even launching the game to start the lore injection operation, my obsessive ass had to define which Sims live in Willow Creek and which family they belong to.
Bitch, you better be joking.
Basically, I wanted to define what happened in between The Sims 2 and my renewed version of The Sims 4. I did this because I realized that what has always intrigued me about The Sims 2 lore is how the game clearly tells you that something happened before the events you see play out in the game, and you kind of have to find out while dealing with the consequences of a previous situation or making new choices to rectify it. And that for me really hits the right spot of storytelling. And also, now that I'm thinking about it, that's the biggest loss in The Sims 4 lore. Like, take the Pancakes family that comes with the base game in Willow Creek. Their entire story is that they are a couple whose relationship is stagnant, bringing the challenge of either saving or breaking their relationship. And okay, that's a fun premise, but where's the storytelling? So keeping these points in mind, I approached the fun task of making all the inhabitants of a new Pleasant View, and I built their stories. Obviously, my idea was to continue the existing legacies from The Sims 2 as Pleasant View is filled with iconic households. But first, I needed some reasons why these Sims descendants live in Willow Creek instead of Pleasant View. So in classic Sims 2 dramatic style, I imagined that right after The Sims 2 events, a flood happened in town. Not only to justify Willow Creek's environment, but also to shake things up and give a reason for some of the fresh starts. And of course, to hint at the possibility of a downfall of the existing dynasties. Maybe they'll thrive, or maybe they'll get overtaken by the newcomers. And then, as I was recreating the looks of the well-known Pleasant View former inhabitants, I let my imagination flow as I pictured where they would be 25 years after Pleasant View and why. The Pleasant twins are still feuding, Brandy Broke married Darren Dreamer and created an extended family while also having a daughter together. The Goths still have their mansion, but Cassandra actually did end up with Don and had a son with him. So things might be shaking over there. The Caliente sisters, well, I was excited about creating them in The Sims 4 because I so strongly disagree with the awfully looking versions EA came up with. But as I was dressing them in their fun, revealing outfits, I realized this Pleasant View 2.0 needed that element that made the OG Pleasant View so intriguing. Your Honor, I needed mystery, secrets, drama. Yeah, I really wanted to create those strings that silently connect the households without being too obvious, as they will get discovered by the players once they jump in. And so I sprinkled my households with feuds, conflict, and enigmas. The Calientes are there, but they have a mysterious descendant with them who will find out to be Mortimer Goth's illegitimate son. Don Lothario appears to have settled down, be a family man, but then we find out he's had a daughter with the late Kaling Lengorak, the infamous maid from The Sims 2 who was involved with all the walking red flags in the neighborhood. Angela Pleasant did get her happy ending with Dustin Broke, but then he took a plunge in their swimming pool, and just like his father did in The Sims 2, he passed away. Drama, trauma, that's what made The Sims 2 lore so freaking good, right? So once I had all the families live through everything that happened before the game is supposed to begin, meaning I imagine Dina and Mortimer had a son right after The Sims 2, so when you start playing in Willow Creek, this son is a young adult, and the Caliente sisters are elders. I added the bio for each household and had them ready to go. I also uploaded them all to the gallery, and they're all base game compatible, so you don't need any specific expansion packs if you want to add them to your game. You just need to look for them with the hashtag Sims Drama House in the gallery, or just add me directly to find them in my catalog. Last but not least, the environment. Actually, I'm talking about the homes where the Sims live, because we know that create a world as a tool doesn't really exist in The Sims 4, which means I couldn't really define what the world looks like, but I could dress up each neighborhood according to the Sims who live there and sort of recreate what we have in Pleasant View in terms of architecture. First, I had to bulldoze the entire Willow Creek, which may be a bit time-consuming, but honestly, it's pretty fun to do, because then you're left with this completely blank canvas to dress up the way you want. You need to select each lot individually from Manage World, click on the build icon, and then bulldoze lot. I did turn several public spaces into residential lots from the lot menu, which allowed me to have more space for houses and still insert a library, a gym, and a museum, and leave the public park as it is in the base game. To be honest with you, I am no Bob the Builder, so after trying and miserably failing to create the houses myself, I browsed the gallery and found some insanely good creations from amazing builders. I've added them to my previous video, and you can also see them on screen now. For the Caliente side of town, I wanted some villas similar to the ones you have on their side of town in The Sims 2. The Goths live in the upper west side of Willow Creek, and I found some perfect Gothic mansions for them. The Broke/Dreamer area homes are in Tudor style, a mix between the architecture in Pleasant View and the one in Veronaville. Same goes for the Pleasant side of town, as the twins live in two identical decadent mansions. And lastly, I left one area for the newcomers in Willow Creek, the Pancakes family, which comes with the Sims 4 base game, and I placed them in a coastal style home, also adding some similar houses there and leaving some empty lots, because that's what's always needed in a base game world. Imagining that players may just want to make their own family, move them to an empty piece of land, and start building there. And in the words of a famous philosopher, that's the deal, my dear. These are all the steps I took to give Willow Creek a deserved makeover, bringing back the drama, families, and houses from The Sims 2 Pleasant View. I hope this video gave you more insights and maybe even inspiration on how to create your next save file in The Sims 4. If you're a fan of the layers of family history from past Sims games and miss that level of lore but still want to enjoy the money you spent on The Sims 4, well, I absolutely feel you. But trust me, you can build your own lore even in The Sims 4, and I assure you, you can make much better stories than the half-baked ones EA shipped in The Sims 4 base game. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to share your own drama if you've also had the idea of recreating Pleasant View, and feel free to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. I hope you'll join me here at the Drama House if you haven't yet by hitting the subscribe button. I can't wait to see you again for more on the past, present, and future of life simulation games. Thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it. My name is Lady Drama, and I hope I'll see you very soon.